Naciśnij. Dobra, lecimy. Będziemy w tej kostnicy, z tego co pamiętam, tam mnie zabili na końcu. Dalej. Graj dalej. Tam szczury. Kostnica się zaczęła. Jeszcze tylko włączam sobie na telefonie, żeby widzieć czat. I lecimy. Popitka. Dzisiaj mam kawę mrożoną. Nic się nie zaopatrzyłem. Do sklepu nie lazłem dzisiaj. O! Lecimy. Mam nadzieję, że będzie mnie dobrze słychać, widać wszystko razem. O, zobacz. Szatanie z Puerto Rico. Taka brzydka krew też pijemy? Nie no, elementy walki są fajne. Tu mam różne umiejętności i te inne sprawy, to mi się podoba. Różne bronie są. To jest fajne. Ten marny szczurek. po nich.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
No coś piłeś już przed chwilą.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Nie ma nic jeszcze ciekawego? No, do zbadania krew jakoś tam. Lecimy dalej, zobaczymy tutaj. Nie idzie tego tworzyć. No dobrze, to teraz. To nie było tutaj. Tylko wyjście było. O! Zielone. Słaby z niego soczek. Trzeci raz jednego piję. Jeszcze żyje. Trzy razy wypiłem z jednego krewka. Gdzieś jest wyjście, nie? Tylko znowu gdzie to zna, a tu. Ło, od razu coś się wkręca. Schowek. Do twojego schowka, Vampy. Jak tam nie widać, jak tam nie słychać? Może ktoś już jest na live, czy nie ma nikogo? Zapraszam serdecznie do komentowania, pisania i wszystkiego razem. No. Jesteśmy na zewnątrz. dwóch tam jest.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
O, szczur w szpitalu poszło. Po schodkach do góry gdzieś tam było moje lokum do spania, tylko gdzie te schody są. Czy mój gabinet.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howard?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howard?
Pacjentką.
To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
Oh, such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Here again.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped
No, you
death
never.
in the trenches to be surrounded again
to
by the
tell me.
moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
Długo
I
sobie
really
w
don't
wojsku.
want to talk about all this shit.
No offense.
Fabuła tutaj to naprawdę będzie rozwinięta. Z każdym pogadać to jest
I served in France myself.
kilkanaście godzin
I just
gry.
wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you?
Tak
Then I
jak
doubt
w Wiedźminie.
we fought
Wiedźminie
the same
z
war,
wszystkimi
sir.
pogadałem, jeszcze kilka razy nawet.
No
nie?
offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
To co?
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must
No
apologize
to jest
for
ten,
my
co płynął
behavior.
statkiem.
What do you mean?
I was not
Zarazem.
myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Dobra, na razie nie
Goodbye,
chcę się
Mr.
z nim gadać.
Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Tam są schody. Słon. Witam cię, Eryku. Witam. Reed, to jest moje. O. Tak, wampira gram. Taka fabularna gierka
The
mocno.
flower's dying. It needs water.
No ja to daj tej wody. Co tam u ciebie słychać? Bo dzięki, że w ogóle wpadłeś. Ty. Stąd zeskoczę, nie wiem, czy mogę wskoczyć teraz. Jedę się wyspać. A to dobrze, wszystko ok. Gryzienie. Obrażenia, ulecz. Mamy 1200 znowu. Ulecz. Co to jest? Regeneracja. Odblokowane niech będzie. Krewdajność krwi. I też niech będzie. No to zaczynam te wszystkie, żeby... Taktyka. To mnie tu interesuje. No nawet mogłem. Nie, powrót. Nic nie resetuje, wszystko fajnie się. To dobrze, że wszystko dobrze u ciebie. To super, cieszy mnie to. Zdrowy. Gdzie jestem? Słon. Doktor Swan.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Zapraszam do oceny.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
O wampirach.
This must be all so new to you.
A grałeś wampira?
This area of town, the hospital,
Eryku?
a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Co za
I'm
dęba.
a dead man. I was murdered. Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
Te zagrożenia.
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you
Dużo
to pay her a
fabuły
visit.
w tej grze.
Her
A fajnie
ladyship
zegar
is
mają tu
certainly
masz
near
tam.
the tents outside, tending the
Taka
sick.
sama tablica kiedyś miałem na zegarze w pokoju, kiedyś
For
taki
someone
wiszący miałem.
impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
No i nowe zadanie. Coś jeszcze mu tu ukradnijmy. List z ostrzeżeniem. Idę do doktora Swansa.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
Skąd się biorą skalowie?
How do skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Skalowie.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a skull?
Skalowie.
A skull is easier to eliminate,
W książce
Jonathan,
ostatnio
even if they
słuchałem
remain
o
formidable
diebukach.
foes for the unprepared.
Były skalowe.
Vampires
Widzów
exist
przodków,
beyond
tak
the
jest.
mortal realm.
Uniwersum Metro.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
You mentioned something about a secret society.
Bractwo. Co to jest to
A
bractwo?
brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
But to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Dobra, wszystko już wiem, wróć.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
Nagadał się. Idzie teraz gdzie indziej. wampirzyca. Co tu mamy?
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Kody inne. 22 metry, coś tam się dowiemy. 10 metrów. 13 metrów, tak. Kółko zrobiłem. Masakra. Wychodzimy stąd, masakra. Jest tam, dobra. Podróżniku z Ukrainy. Opium.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Anioł miłosierdzia, anioł śmierci raczej.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp. The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for.
Przeżyciu.
I do my best to ease
Naprawdę
their
fabuła w tej grze.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred
Ktoś
spirit.
podobny do nas.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions.
Nie wiem, czy to taki dobra gra jest na live'a, bo mało akcji będzie tutaj. Więcej będziemy czytać, pisać.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Spod kontroli.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patients due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it.
O,
Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
spotkam się z nim.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Dobra. 22 metry, 2. City nie bij.
What is this? Who are you?
Proszę być z mojego pokoju.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Jest na fabuła.
Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Witam cię.
Please calm down, madam. I assure you
Witam
that
cię,
I'm
to już
highly
nic nie było.
qualified.
Tekken
I'm
6
just back
i
from war duty.
Sonic. Ale to też fajna gra, ale jak już masz to na wymiankę, no racja, nie?
You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you.
Znowu jestem w tej fabularnej grze Vampy. Duże fabuły tutaj.
Better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many fine undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something.
Towarzysko.
This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts is a poor sod's vein.
Po 20 zł.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
Ja się przekręcę.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans. Oh, so all of them can't keep their legs shut. Oh, scratching, slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on.
Cenne
See you on the
informacje.
next round.
Tekken wiem, że jest bardziej więcej. Tekken się, powiem szczerze, Tekken się zrobił grą nawet kosztowną. Każdy Tekken.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them. Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Have you heard rumors of underhand dealings in the hospital?
If you want to know what's going on here, you better talk to Miss Jones. She knows everything. Especially what she shouldn't.
No.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Jones. Mr. Jones. No, od wampirzycy idziemy.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Have you heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games.
No,
My secrets
Tekken
are
stał
beyond
się
their
naprawdę drożką
comprehension,
grą.
Dr. Reed.
Dobrze mieć każdą wersję
I'll leave
Tekkena.
you, Mistress of the Dark.
I ja ci powiem, że ja oprócz części na PSX zwykłego mam 4, Tekken Tag Tournament na PlayStation 2, te dwie części, 5 na PlayStation 2, 5 była na PlayStation 2 czy na PlayStation 3? Cztery pamiętam, 5 mam też, ale 5 też mam. Mam 6.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Tekkeny są teraz pożądane.
And you are?
I am Throwstricken.
Dobrze gdzieś
Dr.
znaleźć, kupić
Throwstricken.
jakąś wersję i sprzedać
I'm a
drożej.
great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Albo za jakąś inną grę wymienić. Dobry.
Have you heard any talk of blackmail going on in the hospital?
If you're running some official inquiry, you
Dobrze
better
mieć
question
tak
the
tego z
patients
Tekkenami
they know
jest
on
warto.
especially old
Ostatnio
Mr.
miałem
Jones.
okazję kupić, ale ostatnio jak byłem w Elblągu, czyli jak byłem w Polsce. Mogę coś tu się zapytać? Nie.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed.
To był Tekken właśnie 6 i był Tekken Tag Tournament 2 za kupienia. Ale trochę cena
What
była
made you choose to be a
prawie
doctor?
internetowa.
Not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me.
Obydwie części mam, bo mam Tekkena Tag Tournament 2 i 6 i 7.
I'll give you some advice, but understand that nothing beats
Street Fighter
practical
vs Tekken też mam tą część na
which
PlayStation
can
3.
be exhausting
Miałem tylko na
and
PS Vita, bo
solitary.
strasznie kosztuje.
Of course, sir. And don't worry,
Na
I will
PSP
never
mam
allow myself to be a burden, neither to you nor this hospital.
Tekken Dark Resurrection to się nazywa i Tekken na 6 mam na PSP.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
W sumie tam wszystkie oprócz Tekken Hybrid, w którego też poluję trochę
My process is purely
na
experimental
PS3.
and unsuccessful.
Kiedyś
As long
mogłem
as you're
kupić, nie
cautious
kupiłem.
and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
No, ja dzisiaj długo nie będę grał, bo normalnie nie czuję tego klimatu tutaj na razie.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am
Muszę
honored
jeszcze
to
z
have
pół
the
godziny
opportunity
może.
to work by your side.
I'll give you
Slajd
some
nie będzie za
advice, but
długi.
understand that nothing beats practical experience, which can be exhausting and solitary work.
Of course, sir. And don't worry, I will never allow myself to be a burden, neither to you nor this hospital.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it.
For now, it's just theories at first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the
Dzisiaj to będziemy
Well,
tutaj
it has
chyba
always been an honor
fabułę
to work
bawić.
with Dr. Swansea.
A ty jakie masz
Before
tekeny?
arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusions.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
No. No, nowe zadanie poboczne.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Reads me like a book.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Nie wiedziałem, że
All I
ten
want is to
wampir
get my
będzie
bloody
taką
arm fixed
fabułką.
properly.
Have you heard talk of any blackmail here at the hospital?
No, nothing.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so
O,
too.
In other
internet słabutki.
circumstances, you would be right. But for
Znowu
now,
może być
I
lipa.
don't think I can take on the responsibility.
Wyskakuje mi powiadomienie.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Mogę coś? Nie mogę, dobra.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Czy z rozmowy dostaję PD? PD? Tu jakoś to we. Ten tu się skręca.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
Criminal
The people
presence.
who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Twoje życie w Londynie.
How are things here?
Not
Muszę się
good, to say
popytać
the
wszystkich.
least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Wróć. Osobiste pytanie, to już to zadałem. To
Have you
teraz...
seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
No. Co się dzieje?
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Idziemy z fabułą. Co tu się stało? Słyszałem coś.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Masakra jest. To jest jakieś lepsze diabły. Ej, ej, ej. Zabili mnie. Zabito cię. Tutaj to jest trochę już jest trudniej. Kanały Polar.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
Wyszedłem. Zrobiłem kółko. Ej. Dobra. Bynajmniej nie zabili mnie. kiepska sprawa. Z dzisiejszym live'em nie chcę mi się za bardzo nawet w tą grę grać. Ciekawa, ale za...
Look at it! Fish!
Ale uciekłem. Prawie zginąłem.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but
Będę kończył
we had a disagreement.
live'a.
And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long
Naprawdę
have you
dzisiaj
been searching for?
miałem taki
I
zapał,
can't
ale...
go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. This is a dangerous part of town. What
Co
are
pan
you
tu
doing
robi?
here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
Opowiedz mi o sobie.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. Taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
Dobra, jeszcze sekundkę i kończę. Naprawdę nie chcę mi się dzisiaj, a tak chciałem pograć.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Te fabuła mnie to trochę przycisnęła. No. Wiem, że muszę się rozwinąć bardziej niż...
I cannot enter.
So many times. Oswald, you can't just die like this.
Clay Cox. Regotamina.
Good evening, Dr. Timmons.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Nie mam.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Goodbye, Dr. Timmons.
No, mała wampirzyca.
This is despicable.
Masakra. Nie zabili mnie tu. Co to diabły. Dobra. Na tym kończę dzisiejszy live. Sorry. Dziękuję, że byliście ci co byli. I pozdrawiam wszystkich. Trzymajcie się.